Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome to another train set review. Now today it's a train set with a real difference. A little while ago I uploaded my Halloween video, which I do apologise for by the way. If you haven't seen it already, a link up in the corner there. Now for that video I bought this train set and I bought this for £11, right? And the reason I bought such a cheap one is because I was hoping it would just be absolute rubbish. I was hoping it was going to be nasty so that I could destroy it during the Halloween video and make a good job of it. However, while I was filming that Halloween video, I happened to realise just what a good train set this was for a little over £11. I just thought the value for money on this thing is absolutely astonishing. So originally I hadn't planned to review this, it was just going to be a prop for my Halloween video, and after that I was going to just throw it away or whatever. But I thought that would be such a shame to do, so I'm actually going to review it today. Now clearly I'm not here to pretend that this is on a par with Hornby or Bachmann or anything like that. It's certainly not great for serious modelers. However, if you are a beginner and you're just maybe thinking about getting into the hobby, this set might be very, very good for you. First of all, it might get you used to just plugging bits of track together. It'll get you used to putting locos and rolling stock onto model railway tracks. And who knows, if you wanted to go that far, you could even start practicing weathering on this stuff, or maybe you could even practice your layout building skills and do some scenery for it. To be honest, for just a little over £11, you could probably afford to do that, and if it all goes wrong, not a massive problem. So I'm going to be unboxing this for you today. Hope you enjoy it. I've included a link in the description, so if you're at all interested in this set, feel free to check out that link. It might make a great Christmas present for a young person, who knows. But for today, let's get this out and we will take a look and see what it's like. So yes, the Super Retro Classic train set. I think possibly the best value train set on the market. If not that, then certainly the best value one that I've ever seen. So, if we take a look at the side here, you see it's battery operated, it has a working headlight, and it also has train sound. So I'll be very, very interested to hear what that is like. So, first of all then, let's get this out of the box. I can't remember, oh okay, it's this end that I opened already. Let's slide this out. And it all comes inside a polystyrene tray, as you can see. I think we'll start with the locomotive, we get it out. So, what an interesting looking locomotive this is. Now, I know this is a British train set, for reasons we're going to come on to, but it doesn't look really like a British engine to me. Having said that, it did remind me of Big Bertha. If you haven't heard of Big Bertha, look her up on Google Images. Yes, the very, very heavy locomotive that worked on the Lickey Incline. I don't know really how much it looks like her, but something about it did remind me of that. Now, it is quite a light model, but as you can see we do have this ridged rubber tyre on the driving wheel there, which gives it all the pulling power it needs. The rest of the wheels are just free to turn here, but if I just turn on this power switch I will play you with some of the sounds. It's quite vocal, isn't it? It's fair to say, so you've got a bit of chuffing there going on. What else? A bell of some sort. It's quite American, I suppose, that. What next? A bit of coasting, that sounds like, maybe. I think there's a whistle or a horn on there or some sort. Let's wait for that, shall we? There we go. And quite pleasantly, you've got this red flashing LED on the front. So yeah, I mean, it's not what you'd call tasteful, is it? But again, for the money, it really is good. The batteries didn't come with it. There's a little screw hole on the top here, and you just open that up, and inside you put two AA batteries. So there you go, that's the locomotive. We've got the tender for the loco here, which again is quite nicely made. Something that did make me laugh is the sign on the side of the tender there. It says size acreage capability. I'm pretty sure that is not something you'd see on a real tender. It actually makes no sense as far as I'm aware. But it does the job. It looks like it's got some information on the side, which of course real tenders do, and it's not too bad looking. I mean, look at that coal. That coal is on a par with some 00 or even O gauge models, isn't it? It's not too bad looking. So that's the loco and tender. Shall I hold them together just so that you can see them? There we go, that's what it looks like. So there's Big Bertha in inverted commas. Or I suppose it looks a little bit like a G2 maybe? I'm not too sure, not really, sort of anyway. Okay, so apart from that you also get some rolling stock, or a coach, as you can see. Is this, we call this a combi coach or a combine coach? Something like that. Again, it doesn't look very, very British. It looks maybe a bit like a clerestory coach, but it's not too bad, is it? Quite nicely painted up, no glazed windows or anything like that, but it is pretty robust, I must say, so that's good. Interestingly, we do get a little bit of scenery too, and this is how I know that it's a British train set, because on this station you can see it says London that way, Edinburgh that way. So yeah, must be done for a British market, but I would sort of wager that the loco and rolling stock are not based on anything British, although I could be wrong. And then finally, of course, we've got quite a lot of track. I was quite surprised by how much track we've got. There is quite a lot of this stuff. I don't know how many straights. I think there's about 6 straights. Now, when I first looked at this, I thought they'd been quite clever, and I thought the track would work whichever way you put it down, because it is ridged on both sides. But of course, this has to be the back because there's no texture on it, and there's some sort of supports which would stop the flanges. So it was very, very close to being very clever there, but you know, oh well, not a problem. And then what you've got is some quite large radius curves. With these cheap train sets, you normally get very tight curves. It makes a tiny little circuit of track. But with this one, it really is quite a wide radius. I mean, I suppose not, because it is a large gauge compared with 00 stuff. And the track just sort of clips together like that, and it holds itself together reasonably nicely. So I can feel a bit of a time lapse coming on. Let's get this circuit of track together, and we'll put the engine and stuff on, and we'll see how well it runs. Okay, so there we go, all the track is together. I decided I'd go with the more boring oval of track, although there's enough track here actually to do a few different designs. So it went together reasonably easily. Some pieces were easier to put together than others, but on the plus side, I must say that none of it came apart after I put it together. It all seems to hold together very nicely. Now, I can't say really how durable this track is going to be. I don't know how many times you can take this apart and put it back together before the tabs start to fail. I have to wonder that, just given the price. However, it does seem to be reasonably good quality, and to be honest with you, 00 gauge track is quite fragile, so to be honest, if you get one of these for the kids or something like that, it might even help teach them you know, how fragile track is, so that when they get onto the real thing, they're not damaging things unnecessarily. But yeah, apart from that, it's a very large oval of track. Quite impressed with the generosity, actually. You've got 3 pieces of straight here on each straight, so that means that you've actually got quite a lot to play with. Okay, so let's see how easy it is to get the loco and coach and things and, well, tender onto the track. So we'll start with the loco first. I don't know if that's the best thing to start with. And it actually locks onto the track quite sturdily, as you can see. It does actually move the track forwards and backwards because it's got that very rubbery sort of ridged wheel on it. Okay, next up is the tender then. I'll try and hook that in. I can't really tell whether I've got that on properly. I think so. Yeah, that looks like it's on. And then finally the coach, which I think has a sort of coupling on the back there so that you could put multiple coaches together. That's quite good. I don't know where you'd buy more from. I suppose you could just buy another set and then you'd get the track, I suppose, wouldn't you too? So yeah, there we go. I can't tell whether that's all on properly or not, but I'm going to flick the switch, see how easy this is. A lot of these battery powered train sets make it difficult to activate the train without derailing it, so let's try. Oh no, I think I've done it. So as you can see, it's very much fit for purpose. The locomotive works, it's got great sounds, it's got light, so it's quite exciting. It does run without derailing or anything like that. I imagine the loco would be quite powerful, so if you were able to get some more rolling stock, it'd be interesting to find out how much it could pull. You could buy a second set and mix the track together, that would make for a monster set. To be honest, it's very much fit for purpose, isn't it? It works perfectly. The question is, though, how durable is the locomotive? And I want to find out. So, shall we try a good old-fashioned drop test? I think so. Alright, don't try this at home. Alright, fingers crossed, everybody. I don't like breaking working toys. Hopefully this won't break it, though. Alright, let's give it a try. Right, well, nothing came off it, which definitely wouldn't have been the case if this was a Hornby set. So let's get it back onto the track then and see if it still works. Okay, let me put the tender back on properly first, because I must have disturbed that when I took it off. Okay, let's try this with the loco then. Well, it goes back on the track properly at least. Let's just get this couple back up again if I can. Go on, in you go. Okay, so that looks like it's all coupled. Moment of truth then, let's turn it on. Oops. Hang on. Right, take 2. There we go, that worked that time. So, extremely durable. As long as your kid doesn't throw it out a window or anything like that, it should actually hold together, which is very, very good. So overall then, for just a little over £11, you really can't go wrong with this. As I say, if you want to pick one up before it'll disappear, there is a link in the description. Fantastic, to be honest with you. I've enjoyed playing with it, and I've got, you know, the fully blown Hornby train set set up right up here. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's really not a bad looking train set, is it? Obviously realism isn't a thing. It's not particularly nicely detailed, but it certainly does the job. Maybe more serious modelers will just find this to be a little bit of tat. But apart from that, it's not bad at all. So hope you enjoyed that, folks. You never know, if you did enjoy seeing this sort of toy train set, do let me know and I might see which others are out there on the market to try. But for now, that was just a bit of a one-off, so hope you like that and I will see you all very soon. Cheers, everybody.